After the age of 60, if you feel that something has changed in your body, pay attention to those sensations. Maybe you wake up feeling tired, your libido has decreased, your erections aren't what they used to be. Deep down, you sense that you're losing what once seemed unshakable: strength, masculinity, male energy. But people prefer to stay silent about it, without explaining why it happens. And you keep living as if nothing has changed, even though an inner voice keeps warning you that something is wrong. My name is Dr. Adrian Romero. After 30 years of working with men over 60, I've come to a conclusion that could completely change how you view your intimate health. A study published in 2022 in the journal Clinical Interventions in Aging showed that a deficiency of key vitamins was found in 68% of older men suffering from erectile dysfunction. This means that problems with intimate life are not always related to age. Often they are the result of a lack of essential nutrients. And what's most alarming is that most men don't even suspect it. People take medications, undergo tests, experiment with diets, but all without results because they overlook the most important thing. In this video, I will tell you about 3 vitamins that are crucial for maintaining erections, circulation, and vitality after the age of 60. Why are they so closely tied to testosterone levels and performance? And what common mistake do almost all men make when taking them that can prevent the restoration of male strength? If you feel your strength has weakened, your erections have faded, and your desire has disappeared, it's time to understand what's really happening to your body and what you can start doing today. Number 1, vitamin B12, the foundation of mental energy and libido. A deficiency of vitamin B12 is one of the most common yet overlooked hidden causes of physical and mental decline after 60. This vitamin is essential for producing energy in cells, proper brain function, neurological balance, and male sexual health. When B12 is lacking, the body slowly enters a state of metabolic collapse. A man starts noticing he gets tired more easily, even if he sleeps well. The mind becomes slower, less focused, memory falters, sexual desire decreases, and gradually the once natural vitality turns into constant fatigue, apathy, and insecurity. But what's most troubling is that this isn't just a feeling, it's a biological fact. Vitamin B12 is actively involved in the formation of myelin, the protective sheath around neurons. Without this protection, electrical impulses in the brain and nerves slow down. You lose mental speed, clarity, and even fine motor coordination. In addition, B12 is needed for the formation of red blood cells, which means it directly affects the oxygenation of tissues, including the penis. Without enough B12, circulation suffers, and with it, erections. And this isn't theory. A study published in the journal Frontiers in Neurology analyzed men over 60 and found a direct link between low B12 levels and symptoms such as fatigue, mental confusion, loss of libido, weakness, and progressive cognitive changes. In other words, B12 deficiency ages your brain, your erections, and your spirit. The problem is that this deficiency doesn't give obvious signs early on. It develops slowly over months or years. And by the time a man notices, he's already drained of energy, experiencing loss of potency, and thinks it's normal for his age, but it's not. It's a deficiency. Even worse, many who take supplements may be using the wrong form. The most common on the market is cyanocobalamin, a cheap and poorly absorbed version. The ideal form is methylcobalamin, an active and bioavailable version of B12 that the body can actually use. So, if you feel increased fatigue, memory lapses, decreased libido, or overall weakness before accepting aging as fate, correct your B12 levels. This could be the first step to regaining your energy, clarity, and manly strength. Number 2, vitamin D, the invisible engine of testosterone and circulation. Few men over 60 realize it, but a simple vitamin D deficiency can silently erode the very foundation of their masculinity, and this is no exaggeration. Vitamin D is a hormone disguised as a vitamin, and it controls much more than just bone health. It's directly involved in testosterone production, maintaining cardiovascular function, muscle strength, and even mood. And here's the shocking part. Over 80% of men over 60 have insufficient or dangerously low vitamin D levels and don't even know it. The result is a gradual loss of sexual potency, weakened circulation, and reduced testosterone production, along with lower desire, weaker erections, and declining sexual function. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that men with low vitamin D levels had 25% lower testosterone than those with normal levels. So if your vitamin D is low, your masculinity is dropping too. But vitamin D's role goes beyond hormones. It directly affects the activation of nitric oxide, a substance needed to dilate blood vessels and allow blood flow to the penis. Without nitric oxide, a firm erection is impossible, and with low vitamin D, nitric oxide production drops sharply. Furthermore, vitamin D deficiency is linked to chronic hidden inflammation that damages circulation, the heart, and sexual function. And here's the most alarming part. Even men living in sunny regions can have serious deficiencies because the body depends on direct sunlight at the right time of day and the skin's ability to convert it into active vitamin D. And this ability declines sharply with age. So the older you are, the higher your risk of deficiency, even if you think you're fine. And if you already take vitamin D but see no results, you might be making the same mistake as thousands of other men, using the wrong form or too small a dose. The correct form is D3, cholecalciferol, preferably combined with vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium into bones rather than arteries. The good news is that correcting your vitamin D levels can restore strength, boost libido, increase testosterone, and bring back firm erections. So don't underestimate this nutrient. Low vitamin D is a red warning sign for any man who wants to age with strength and vitality. Number 3. Vitamin E, the guardian of fertility, circulation, and hormones. You might have never thought about it, but the truth is clear. Without vitamin E, your body ages faster, your circulation weakens, and your sexual performance falters. Vitamin E is one of the body's most powerful antioxidants. It protects cells from oxidative stress, a silent process that damages tissues from within and accelerates the breakdown of vital functions, including erectile function. When free radicals build up in the body, they attack blood vessels and nerves. The result is lower blood flow, including to the genitals. Chronic inflammation also disrupts hormonal balance, lowers testosterone, and harms fertility. Men with vitamin E deficiency have higher risk of erectile dysfunction, lower libido, chronic fatigue, and even mood swings. And this is far more common than it seems. A study published in the journal Reproductive Biology and Endocrinology showed that men with sufficient vitamin E had more motile sperm, better penile blood flow, and higher serum testosterone. In other words, vitamin E isn't just for heart protection, it directly affects the male reproductive system. It's also vital for protecting Leydig cells, which produce testosterone in the testes. Without this protection, the testes make less hormone, masculinity declines, and sexual performance worsens. Another important point, vitamin E works in synergy with vitamin D. Together, they strengthen endothelial function, improve vessel elasticity, and enhance blood distribution, especially where it's most needed. But as always, form and source matter. Natural vitamin E is absorbed far better than synthetic. It's also important that a supplement contains the full complex of tocopherols and tocotrienols for maximum antioxidant effect. If you rely only on modern diets, you're almost certainly getting less than half the needed dose to maintain optimal vitamin levels. So if you want to keep your masculinity, testosterone, circulation, and sexual ability strong, vitamin E must be part of your daily life. It doesn't just prevent decline, it protects what makes you a man. Now let's talk about one of the most common mistakes that ruins your results even when you take vitamins. This may sound strange, but it's true. Most men who take vitamins feel absolutely no effect. And do you know why? Because they're taking the wrong forms. Yes, the label might say the same name, but they act completely differently in the body. Look, the most common form of vitamin D on the market is D2, which is poorly absorbed and barely affects testosterone. The correct form, the one that truly works, is D3. The B12 sold in pharmacies is usually cyanocobalamin, an unstable form poorly absorbed by the body. The correct form is methylcobalamin, which the body can actually use. And in the case of vitamin E, many buy synthetic supplements made from artificial ingredients that provide almost no protection. The ideal choice is natural vitamin E, which works fully and effectively. This mistake is so widespread that it has created a vicious cycle. A man takes the wrong supplement, feels no difference, and concludes that vitamins don't work. But the truth is that it's pointless to take just anything. You need the right form in the right dose and high quality. Otherwise, you will continue feeling tired, losing desire, having weak erections, and thinking the problem is age. But it's not age. It's just the wrong supplement. How to use these vitamins practically without complexity or expense. You don't need to swallow handfuls of costly capsules or follow extreme diets. With small changes in daily life, it's completely realistic to include these three powerful vitamins simply and effectively. 4B12. If you're older, vegetarian, or have digestive issues, the best option is supplements. Look for methylcobalamin in drops or sublingual capsules. It absorbs well and can be taken in the morning on an empty stomach. 4. Vitamin D3. The best way is sunlight, 15 to 30 minutes a day on bare arms and legs without sunscreen. If that's impossible, use D3 in oil capsules, preferably with K2 to help distribute calcium properly. Vitamin E can be obtained regularly from food by eating seeds, nuts, extra virgin olive oil, and avocados. But if your diet lacks these foods, consider a natural vitamin E supplement. Look for D-alpha tocopherol on the label. Keep in mind, it's pointless to start today and expect miracles tomorrow. These vitamins work gradually. Consistency is what will restore your vitality, mental clarity, erections, and confidence. And the best part is, you don't need to spend much. You just need to do it correctly. In conclusion, the choice is yours. You can keep believing this is just a natural part of aging, or you can face the truth. Most of your loss of energy, sexual weakness, and fatigue has a name, a cause, and a solution. Time is not to blame. Deficiency of the right nutrients in the right forms is. You have two paths. Ignore the signals and accept decline, or take action now with intelligence, science, and consistency. Your body is still capable of a lot, your mind of even more, and your masculinity has not yet faded. Start today. Fix these deficiencies. Reclaim your strength. Like this if the information was helpful. Share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and comment, "I choose to restore my potency."